So you say you can have a woman who'll obey your every command.
Coming to America, 1988. 20 wild facts even fans didn't know. Welcome back to the channel. Today, we're pulling back the curtain on one of the most beloved comedy classics of all time, Coming to America. Whether you've seen it 10 times or you're discovering Eddie Murphy's royal hijinks for the first time, you're about to uncover stunning behind-the-scenes secrets, wild production stories, and hilarious hidden gems that even superfans might have missed. Stick around, because what's coming later is even more unbelievable. You'll never look at your favorite scenes the same way again. Before we dive into the heart of Zamunda and Queens, make sure you like, share, and subscribe for more deep dives into legendary movies. Turn on notifications so you never miss an episode packed with exclusive stories and new perspectives. The Untold Origin Story. Did you know Coming to America was first pitched under a completely different name? Eddie Murphy originally called his script The Quest, imagining a heartfelt journey about a sheltered African prince stepping out into the world for the first time, searching for true love. Not just another arranged marriage, but that title sounded more like a medieval adventure than a raucous comedy, right? The studio agreed, and after some back and forth, the iconic title, Coming to America, was born. It's wild to think how a simple name change helped shape this film into a global classic. Here's something to mull over. If the film had kept its original title, do you think it would have been as memorable? Share your take in the comments. Would The Quest have had the same magic? Behind the Crown, creating Prince Akeem. Now let's talk about Prince Akeem himself. Early drafts of the screenplay literally named the main character Eddie, but Murphy wasn't having it. He wanted to disappear into a new role, not just play himself. So Eddie became Prince Akeem of Zamunda. Gentle, wide-eyed, and searching for more than just a fairy tale romance. This wasn't Eddie Murphy doing stand-up. This was a total transformation, and it set the tone for everything that followed. Speaking of transformations, do you have a favorite scene where an actor completely vanishes into a character? Maybe one from this film? Drop your suggestions below, and let's see who's got the sharpest eye for character work. Casting surprises and studio struggles. You might think putting together this legendary cast was a breeze, but there were plenty of surprises and even a little controversy. The studio insisted that at least one white actor be cast to balance things out, a move that feels outdated today. Eddie Murphy took it in stride by adding comedian Louis Anderson as the lovable McDowell's employee Maurice. Incredibly, this decision turned a forced inclusion into a fan-favorite role, and Maurice even reappeared in the sequel decades later. Here's another twist. Did you know Arsenio quit a major animated show to be in Coming to America? He was voicing Winston Zeddemore in the real Ghostbusters cartoon, but left at the height of its popularity. That bold leap landed him not just as Prince Akeem's dramatic sidekick, but in a slew of unforgettable roles, from a nightclub woman to a wisecracking barber. What's your take on actors juggling multiple projects? Would you leave one gig for a crazy opportunity like this? Share your thoughts below. But don't go anywhere, because we're about to reveal a legal showdown with the world's biggest fast food chain, and what happened might be the wildest story yet. Big Macs and big laughs, the McDowell's saga. McDowell's isn't just a hilarious send-up. It almost landed the filmmakers in real trouble. With uniforms, menu items, and golden arcs that looked a little too familiar, McDowell's was so convincing that McDonald's sent corporate investigators to the set during filming. The production team had to scramble, quickly creating an entire fake employee manual to prove McDowell's wasn't a ripoff. Somehow, they avoided a lawsuit, and McDowell's became a lasting piece of movie legend. Today, it's so well loved that real pop-up restaurants have celebrated this cinematic homage. Have you ever spotted a parody of a brand in a movie and thought, how did they get away with that? Tell us your favorite fake movie brands in the comments. Famous beginnings. Legends in the Making. Coming to America was packed with stars, even before many of them were famous. Samuel L. Jackson's first credited movie role was as the shotgun-wielding robber who tries and fails to hold up McDowell's. Cuba Gooding Jr., he got his start in the blink-and-you'll-miss-it role of a silent teen getting his hair cut at the barbershop. These small parts turned out to be launch pads for Hollywood greatness. And here's where it gets even more interesting. John Amos landed his part with a tongue-in-cheek threat, telling producers, "If you try to keep me out of this movie, I'll kill you." That sense of humor got him the job, and it's part of why Cleo McDowell became one of the most memorable movie dads ever. But hang tight, there's more. Up next, the makeup magic that fooled even the sharpest viewers and the cultural crossovers that secretly tie this comedy to another classic. Makeup, improvisation, and movie magic. Legendary makeup artist Rick Baker didn't just slap on a few prosthetics. He crafted over 40 sets of custom teeth for the various characters, each designed with unique quirks to help Eddie Murphy and Arsenio Hall disappear into their alter egos, like the grinning Saul the Barber, who was actually modeled after Baker's own father-in-law. The transformations were so real, even close-ups of the barber's hands were actually hand doubles. And then, there's the comedy gold born from improvisation. Remember the infamous barbershop debate about Cassius Clay and Muhammad Ali? That wasn't in the script. Murphy improvised, and it became one of the most quoted lines in comedy history. Speaking of legendary moments, did you know that the mic drop, yes, the classic move, was first improvised in this film by Murphy and Hall? After Randy Watson butchers a song, he unceremoniously drops the mic, a move so iconic it's become a global staple. What's one movie improv or blooper you wish had made it into the final cut? Share your pics and see what surprises pop up from the community. Hidden connections and cinematic Easter eggs. Coming to America doesn't just stand alone in the Comedy Hall of Fame, it's filled with secret connections. Remember when Prince Akeem hands a wad of cash to two homeless men in the park? Look closely. Those are Randolph and Mortimer Duke, the villains from Eddie Murphy's earlier blockbuster Trading Places. This Easter egg transforms a simple gag into a shared cinematic universe that fans still rave about. How about costume nostalgia? When the sequel was released over 3 decades later, the filmmakers dug into storage and actually reused the original royal outfits, restored with new details, but still dripping with Zamundan flair. And here's what most fans didn't realize until much later. Some of the movie's grandest scenes were shot guerrilla style, without full permission. When Akeem and Semi arrive at the luxurious Waldorf hotel, the crew snuck the cameras in, shot quickly, and left before anyone noticed. Talk about risky filmmaking. Behind the scenes, conflicts, and comedy. Not everything was laughs behind closed doors. Eddie Murphy brought back director John Landis, thinking they'd recapture their Trading Places magic. But now, Murphy was a huge star, and the old power dynamic vanished. Tensions ran high on set, and though the final product was a smash, the working relationship never really recovered. Despite the friction, the cast's improvisations and chemistry on screen created something unforgettable. And what's coming up next proves just how deep this movie's impact really goes. The iconic Soul Glow and real-life McDowell's. Who could forget the Soul Glow jingle? That over-the-top falsetto anthem wasn't just a spoof. Music legend Nile Rodgers, known for disco mega-hits, wrote it from scratch, complete with jaw-dropping vocals and epic production values. The result? Some audiences thought Soul Glow was an actual brand, and for hardcore fans, dreams became reality when a Chicago restaurant transformed into a true McDowell's, complete with the original uniforms and menu. Even Eddie Murphy heard about it and gave his blessing. That one weekend pop-up proved just how deep this film's legacy reaches, turning movie magic into real-world nostalgia. Lasting legacy when comedy becomes royalty. In 2021, Coming to America joined the United States National Film Registry, forever preserved as a film that changed not just comedy, but culture. It was more than a box office smash. It broke barriers, showcased brilliance from Black creators, and gave the world a fictional kingdom beloved for generations. Before we close, let's end with one more question. What legacy moment or line from Coming to America do you think deserves to be remembered 50 years from now? Tell us in the comments, and let's keep the conversation going. That wraps up our deep dive into the untold stories behind Coming to America, a film of royal laughs, legendary trivia, and unlikely Hollywood legends. If you learned something new, make sure to like, share, and subscribe for more movie explorations just like this. Drop your favorite moment or behind-the-scenes fact in the comments. Thank you for being part of our community. What kind of videos would you like us to make next? Let us know in the comments. See you on the next video.